Hey everyone, today's video dives into one of the most heated Senate hearings we've seen in a while. A senator went head-to-head with Professor Franks, and trust me, things got tense fast. The debate covered government-compelled speech, accusations of bias, and even claims that the Supreme Court promotes racial patriarchy. Stick around because I'm breaking down this entire exchange in 10 powerful moments, and the last one will leave you speechless. Before we start, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of my weekly breakdowns.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I apologize for having to miss the testimony of some of you, and I appreciate you coming today. Professor Franks, let me ask you, I listened to your and Ms. Hemingway's testimony and Professor Turley, so I got part of it. As I understand it, your position, Professor Franks, is that I think you used the word myth. It is a myth that the Biden administration used government to compel speech, private speech, but that the Trump administration is doing that. Is that a fair characterization?
Yes, that's correct.
Okay. Do you think perhaps you're allowing your personal political beliefs to affect your objectivity here?
No, I do not. What is guiding my answers here is that I'm looking to see what the Supreme Court has said. You notice that in the testimony about the censorship industrial complex.
I got that part.
No, I just
want to
clarify.
No, but I've only got 5 minutes. Your answer is no, I appreciate it. Let me ask you a couple questions. You wrote a law review article in December of 2023 for the New York University Law Review, and it was about the two cases, Bruin, Supreme Court case, and Dobbs. Remember that article?
Yes, I do.
Okay. In this article, you said, I'm going to quote your words, "Taken together, these two cases demonstrate that the Supreme Court has embraced the use of the Constitution as a tool of racial patriarchy," end quote. Did you say that?
Yes.
Okay. And then you went on to say, quote, "When the Supreme Court declares that there is a constitutional right to armed self-defense in public, it openly embraces and promotes a culture that privileges white men's ability to terrorize and kill those that they perceive as threats," close quote. Did I read that correctly?
I believe so. Thank you for reading.
Okay. And did you also say in that article, I'm going to quote again, quote, "by simultaneously expanding white men's right to kill and constricting women's right not to die, this Supreme Court," referring to the current United States Supreme Court, "has turned the Constitution into a homicide pact as well," close quote. Did you write that?
That sounds like me.
Okay. In November of 2024, you tweet, don't you?
I'm not sure what the current terminology is for it, but yes, I am sometimes on the social platform that was formerly known as Twitter.
Yeah, you're on a lot, aren't you?
I'm not sure what the relevance of that is.
You're trying to be provocative on there, don't you?
Again, I'm not sure what the relevance
Well,
of this question is.
let me show you the relevance. On November 7th, 2024, from your tweet, here's one of your tweets at 2:41 p.m., quote, "The majority of Americans hate women. The majority of Americans hate women more than they love anything, including democracy," close quote. Did I read that correctly?
I am not sure what this has to do with the subject matter of this
Did
hearing.
you say it?
I do not have those words in front of me. I probably said something along those lines, but
Yeah,
what is
you
the
said it.
relevance of
Here
that
it
to
is,
this
big as
hearing?
Dallas, right there.
Yes.
But your political beliefs don't impact your feelings about President Biden or President Trump.
I don't have feelings about either of them. What I have
Sounds
is
to me
doctrine.
like your favorite feeling is anger. Let me ask you this. You issued another tweet. This was in May of 2022. You've just been tweeting up a storm. You said, quote, There's a reason why the conservative-dominated Supreme Court thinks the Constitution does not contain a right to an abortion, but is convinced that it contains an individual right to possess firearms. And that reason is white male supremacy, close quote. Did I read that correctly?
Is there a question in this?
Did I read that correctly? That's
Is there
my
a question that is relevant to this hearing?
Did I read that correctly? Do you really think that the United States Supreme Court, you're an officer of the court, is guided by white male supremacy?
I believe that the First Amendment prohibits the president
Did you
other
say
state
that?
officials for punishing people for
Did
their
you honestly say that, Professor?
I
And you
believe
expect us,
that the First
as a
Amendment,
Democratic witness, to take you seriously? Are you kidding me?
I believe that you should take the
You've
First
heard of
Amendment
curb your
seriously, sir.
enthusiasm? Here's my saying, curb my nausea.
I
Thank you.
believe that you should
The
take
time
the First
has
Amendment
expired. Thank
seriously.
you. Senator Durbin.
So, it all started when the senator questioned Professor Franks about her stance on government-compelled speech. According to Franks, it's a myth that the Biden administration compelled private speech, but she claimed that the Trump administration actually did. That statement immediately set the tone. The senator pushed back, suggesting she might be letting her personal politics cloud her judgment. Franks stood her ground, saying her position was based purely on Supreme Court precedent, not politics. Then the senator pulled out her 2023 NYU Law Review article, and that's where the fireworks really began. He quoted her saying the Supreme Court has turned the Constitution into a tool of racial patriarchy. And if that wasn't enough, she also wrote that recognizing a right to armed self-defense in public promotes a culture where white men feel empowered to kill perceived threats. You could feel the tension rising in the room. The senator's tone was sharp, and Franks didn't back down. She confirmed she wrote it and stood by her words. Next, the senator brought up her social media activity, specifically some very provocative tweets. He read one where she said, "The majority of Americans hate women more than they love democracy." Franks fired back, questioning the relevance of these tweets to the actual topic of the hearing. The senator argued that such statements show bias and make it hard to take her testimony seriously. The tension was so thick you could cut it with a knife. If you're still watching, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. We cover real, unfiltered moments like this every week. The senator kept pressing, this time quoting another of her tweets that blamed white male supremacy for the Supreme Court's rulings on guns and abortion. He questioned how she, as an officer of the court, could accuse the highest court in the land of being driven by racial or gender bias. Franks insisted her comments were protected speech and rooted in academic critique, not hatred. But by this point, the senator had clearly lost patience.
You've heard of curb your enthusiasm? Well, here's mine. Curb my nausea.
And just like that, the committee chair cut him off, saying his time was up. That was one of the most intense exchanges I've seen in a Senate hearing. A clash of ideology, ego, and emotion. On one hand, you've got a law professor defending her academic freedom and critique of power. On the other, a senator demanding accountability and questioning bias. Who do you think made the stronger argument, Professor Franks or the senator? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, and let's talk about it. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit like, subscribe, and turn on the bell for more deep dives into major political moments. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.